Guys, some final adjustments here. All right, so it's Monday night. It's Memorial Day. As mentioned, today is about the those who didn't make it back. Today is about the fallen. We have Veterans Day in November. Mocha is a veteran. My father was a veteran. Uh, that's today. Veterans Day in November when we honor them. Today is about those who paid the ultimate price, made the ultimate sacrifice. So, salute to those who gave their all. And it's just about 5:10. I got YouTube up, and I got our friend Noble Scrolling Traveler up. He is live. I like keeping my friends up, even when I'm live, and if I can't make it, I'll keep them up. I'll pop in when I can, when I'm able. As well, our friend Mayhem and Miracles, Masha, is up. So these guys, in my opinion, are some of the best live streamers out there. Masha is doing a panel, open mic panel. I shared out her link. Let's share. I don't know how long Noble's going to stay live, but let's share him out too. There we go. And we're going to see what other people are up to as well. Just going to cruise around the YouTube streets. One of the things that I put up, I put a little description. And of what I wanted to talk about. Maybe. Every topic is subject to change. We take it as it comes along, what people might present. If anyone shows up tonight, this is it's a triple whammy for my live stream, that it's Memorial Day weekend, Monday. We have the great Mayhem and Miracles doing a panel with many great people joining her. And we have, to me, one of the best live streamers in the business, Noble Scrolling Traveler, Noble Scrolling Traveler. So if I was not going live, I'd be hanging out with them. But I like keeping my schedule. So, and you know what? Sometimes when it's just me, or maybe one or two other people, then there's two types of live streams for me. One is that I'm on track to a particular conversation, and I stay with it throughout, maybe veering, here and there a little bit. And at other times, it's just a freewheeling mess of a conversation, mess in the best possible way. So, what I wanted to talk about was, obviously, yoga. One of my favorite things to talk about. All the way across. It's funny because I'm often asked when I talk about yoga why I don't instruct yoga online, you know, a YouTube video, show some postures and how to do them? And the answer is because I'm not that kind of a yoga teacher. I do have 200-hour Hatha Yoga certification, but what I teach is pranayama and meditation, dhyana, as well as the first two branches of the 8 limbs of yoga, Ashtanga. Uh, Ashtanga actually has an A on it, depending on what part of India you found. You either pronounce it Ashtanga or Ashtang. And Ashtang means 8 limbs of yoga. There is a style of yoga called Ashtanga yoga that was developed in the early 1900s, and it is almost purely, not that it doesn't cover some of the ethicals, but it's almost purely a Hatha yoga. So it's more of a series of postures that are done very demanding, physically very demanding, and they're done the same each time. There's 2, I think, different forms that you work through, one for beginners, one for advanced. And again, it's very demanding. I have not done that style of yoga, surprisingly, as I do, or I used to, really like the physical challenge. But for a long time, I practiced Bikram yoga, which is heated yoga. But it's the same thing. It's 27 postures, and you do the same 27 postures every class. There's a lot to be said for, man, you get addicted to the heat. It's a really good feeling working out in the heat. It's tough, but you just feel cleansed afterwards. Anyway, there's a lot to be said for doing the same postures every class, and I was doing it every day. And what is said is that what I mean by there's a lot to be said for it, you get very good at those 27 postures, and the 27 postures are a full array of what you can do. It's a complete program. I don't do 27 postures now. I'd have to add them up in my head what I actually do. But in comparison to when I was doing Bikram, my practice is very, very mellow. My practice is more about healing right now. Healing and opening up to the subtle energy of the body is my main point of interest right now. I have, for, like a physical type challenge, I have my burpees to do along with other body weight stuff. Walking anywhere from 2 or 3 days a week. A little bit of running. I took a break from it, given my back, which has been injured for a few months, given it a bit of time to recover. As burpees give it a bit of a pounding. So, Ashtanga Yoga, 8 limbs of yoga. It begins with Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. Our friend Squirrel Sniper is here. Squirrel Sniper, how are you? Appreciate you joining in. I anticipated a very light crowd, if anyone showed up, as I mentioned, here in the U.S. it's Memorial Day, and we got some really big-time channels up doing live streams right now. Our friend Noble is live streaming, and Masha is streaming. So I shared both of those. I certainly don't want to detract from any of those great live streamers. As I mentioned before, in my opinion, two of the best live streamers. Noble is just very entertaining, a lot of fun to be around, and uplifting. So much good stuff that he puts out. And Masha is nothing but service. Who can I help? Who needs help? What can I do for you? For the entire length. Amazing that someone has the energy to give that much and that consistently. And Amy's here. Amy says, I'm back. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Runner Boy is back. I appreciate that, my friends. Runner Boy says, I have returned since I need to brush my teeth now. I'm glad I could be part of that, Runner Boy. It's the little things in life that friends get to share together, you know? Laradox says, hi. Laradox, how are you? So, our friend Jacob's here. Jacob, how's the knee? Squirrel Sniper says, I started 2 more carvings today. A huge fairy house with a spiral staircase and an owl. Wow. I'm looking forward to seeing both. And I can't even say which one I'm looking forward to seeing more, as fairy house sounds absolutely awesome, and I love owls. I have a vow with owls. If Mocha comes in, she can tell you about it. If I hear one, especially in the daytime, if I hear it hooting, then I have to follow it. I got to follow the hoot until I can either see it or that I know that I'm not going to be able to see it. Paradox is saying hi to everyone. Squirrel Sniper, are you going to share them on your channel? Runner Boy says, Paradox 1 versus 1, me and rock, paper, scissors. I'm not even going to tell you who I suspect would win. Amy says, Masha's having new to StreamYard issues. I'm sure she'll work it out. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I think I pretty much decided I'm not going to do StreamYard. It's been suggested. I think it would just add too much technology to the technical deficient. And I am definitely technically deficient. Jacob says, Eric LaPointe, thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that generosity. Jacob says, slowly improving. I did jumping jacks earlier today, and my right knee did not agree to it. Yeah, it's that pounding. I think he might even be able to get away with burpees, especially maybe Navy SEALs, as you spend more time. You could also do 10 pumps. You know, take a page from our friend Brian Lane. I'm glad it's improving. Did you get a leg brace? Squirrel Sniper says I put a small shot up earlier. I should hopefully finish them tomorrow. Awesome. Let me I'm going to bring up my desktop, and that way I'm going to take a look at what you guys are doing on your channels. Amy says that I've been there. Yeah, I just don't think more technology is the answer for me. For other people who know how to navigate that, I think that's good. Give me 1 second here, guys. Runner Boy says, I think they should make a competitive rock, paper, scissors where they fight with giant versions of them that they pick. Hey, I would watch that. I think you should be training for that, Runner Boy. So I'm going to visit Squirrel Sniper's channel right now. And if you go, Amy, I think you might find it really interesting because of your own particular skill set. You'll see the beginning, a short of Squirrel Sniper's chainsaw carving. Absolutely amazing. You two guys together completely fascinated me. Completely fascinated me because of your ability to work with wood, but with different tools. Theradox says, if I knew how to donate $1,000, but I'm not a tech whiz. Neither am I, my friend. Hey, here's what I tell everyone. You're dedicating a portion of your time to be here with me. How awesome is that? Amy says, if you ever want to try StreamYard, Eric, we can do it together without going live. No pressure then. Hey, that's a good idea, and I really appreciate that. Jacob got a knee sleeve. I hope it, alleviates enough stress on the knee that you could get in stuff like, 5 pump burpees or 10 pump burpees. That way you're maximizing your time on the ground and minimizing the time that you're bouncing back up. Squirrel Semper says it's a great idea. Amy, I did it with a friend also. That's cool. Definitely going to have to consider that. Eric Lapointe joined up to Jacob. Awesome. Jacob's one of the hardest workers in the game. And he's just so committed and sincere to what he's doing. And as mentioned before, every workout starts with just this positive attitude of, hey guys, this is how we do it. Laradox says, guys, did you know you just this read wrong? I fooled you. You did not fool me, though. Sometimes it helps being slightly dyslexic because then you see stuff like that already flipped around. Eric Point says, sorry, Running Boy, I missed you live. I caught the beginning, and then I was back towards the end, but I kept him running throughout. Anyone who is going to monetize their channel, no matter where you are now, if that's even a small intent in the back of your mind, because you just want to, you want a little bit of a bigger channel to reach more people in a positive way, just let me know, and I will support you all 100% any way I can. I'll share your channel out. I'll give you some watch hours, and as I mentioned, to me, watch hours are definitely harder to come by than the subscribers. But once you start doing your live stream, the watch hours start to add up. And if you're someone like Runner Boy, and you get 80 people show up in your chat, you're going to get those watch hours in no time at all. It's the same with Masha, and it was her suggestion. She was like, Eric, you're going live for 20 minutes at a time, because I was just hitting key points. And I was very straightforward. I'm going to talk about this. And that's what I talked about. But you don't get a whole lot of watch hours in 20 minutes. And I also discovered how much fun it is and what a freewheeling type of art form it is. Just, riffing on every comment. Eric Point says, I'll try and get the next one. Jacob says, hey to Eric Point, and thank you, brother. Man, Eric's been a big supporter for so many people. What a great presence on YouTube. Squirrel Sniper says, sorry. Greetings, Eric Point. Hope you have a great day. We tend to not really do much for Memorial Day. Try to give a moment of silence. As Mocha always pointed out, People would always thank Mocha for her service on Memorial Day, and she would always say, thank you, appreciated. But my day as a veteran is in November. This is for those who didn't make it back. This is for those who gave the ultimate sacrifice. Night Watchers here. Hello, hello. Did an all-nighter studying for my exam. Didn't you have an exam today as well? Laradox says, nope, didn't fool you. If I had read that normally, like straight through, you probably would have. Yogi, you funny. And Yogi, just a flat-out good human being. Thanks, Laradox. I appreciate you saying that. And that's a priority for me. And I could say that I don't try to be a good human being. I try to be authentic, and that the more authentic I present my life, the more open I feel, the more that I feel like I can share, the more I have to give, and the less pressure. I have absolutely no expectations to meet, including my own. And giving up my own expectations was one of the most insightful and wisest things I've ever done, as well as holding all of my opinions and my beliefs very, very lightly. It's not that I don't have them, but I just know they change. The opinions that I have now are nowhere close to the opinions that I had 20 years ago or 40 years ago. Squirrel Sniper says, got a good few hours carving in today. Took my son out for birthday pizza. Oh yeah, I saw you mention that. Happy birthday to your son. Had a lovely time. That's awesome. The whole thing, from the carving to the pizza. Eric Point says, sounds like a great day. It certainly does. Runner Boy says, Veradox, so you are monetized then on TikTok? I think he mentioned that he was, which is pretty awesome. I have actually not been on TikTok before. I've seen TikTok videos. Mocha has sent them to me. She loves dog videos, animal videos, but particularly dog videos. And hey, who wouldn't and who doesn't? Our friend Barb is here. Blessings and hugs to all. Blessings to you, my friend. Do you have plans for Wolf's birthday tomorrow? Let's see. Squirrel Semper says, Veradox, see you Laradox on TikTok then. Night Watcher says, I have to sleep if I want to get up for my final. So good night, Yogi. Also daily exams, ugh. And I did say ugh. You can let Flower know that I actually said ugh. Get some sleep. I appreciate you stopping in. And good luck on your exam. Jacob says, I was going to subscribe to you, Eric Lapointe, but I'm already subscribed to you. But I'm glad we're linked now. Salute, brother. Awesome. Squirrel Sniper drops Runner Boy's channel. Awesome. Thank you for that. Yep, just type in Runner Boy. Barb says, yep. Hey, Barb, that was a fantastic talk you gave. A fantastic live stream on the M on the palms. And Barb has them on both hands. Really great talk. And you were so on point the entire time. It was amazing. Wolf is here. Hi, as everyone. Tomorrow is Wolf's birthday, by the way. I would sing, but I would guarantee no one wants to hear that. Barb says going to take him out to eat. Then don't know. Going to have Mexican food for his birthday. Awesome. Brother Boy says, Eric, I believe 10K followers on TikTok equals 1K on YouTube. 10K. Interesting. Squirrel Sniper says, it is in a dark forest of illusory trees that a soul can find light, not through limbs of darkness, blocking moonlight, but by searching within. Nice. I like that, Squirrel Sniper. Hey, Squirrel Sniper, you would have enjoyed Barb's talk on the palm lines that she offered. Jacob says, I'm subscribed to you now, Runner Boy, another fitness icon. Yeah, he certainly is. I've mentioned before a couple things. That Runner Boy is always, always, always on point with his workouts. He has impeccable form. And him and Duncan Walsh have the best voiceovers on any fitness channel. Maybe any channel that I've heard. Just very, informative, but at the same time, light and lively on their voiceovers. Barb says, thank you. You're welcome, my friend. Man, I always want to call out and mention those type of awesome quality live streams. People like you, that's what I aspire to. And Barb says Wolf does also. Yep, I remember you mentioning that. Squirrel Sniper says, yes, she was. And Barb says his sister's birthday is today and the other tomorrow on his just 1 year apart. Wow, that's awesome. Jacob says, you're very strong, brother. You're destroying it. Yeah, he has a goal. And I keep mentioning that. You don't see that often anymore. If you see people go to the gym, no one has a plan. We can call it bro lifting. You go for the pump or to see how much you can lift at that particular session. But very few people, at least at Runner Boy's age, has that, I want to go from point A to point B, and this is how I'm going to do it. I have a plan, and I stick with it. And the plan is also flexible. It's not all about how much can I do for one rep. Sometimes, I believe you were working on a 15 rep program before. Runner Boy says, Eric, I really like the thumbnail from my video I posted today. What do you think of it? It's a good looking squat. Outside, it reminds me of a story in Arnold Schwarzenegger's first book, his autobiography, where him and Franco used to take a ton of weights out in the woods, and they'd bring big racks of ribs, kegs and kegs of beer, and they would squat all day long, marathon sessions of squat outside, and then drink beer and eat meat all through the night. So we got Runner Boy squatting outside under the sun, clouds, green grass, bushes. Wolf says, also the correct phrase for today would be to all the families who have lost loved ones in war defending this country. Thank you for your sacrifice. Agreed. Very much agree. I mentioned before I was extremely fortunate. One, that my dad made it back, as I wouldn't be here. And two, that Mocha made it back. She was in Iraq in a very precarious time. This was 2008. Um, she wasn't. She was in information, I should say. She was keeping people safe, but she was there when the Air Force called her up. She was a Spanish and then Somali linguist, so no need for her to be in Iraq, except they needed people, and they called her up and retrained her, and she never complained. She stepped up and she did her duty. Squirrel Snipper says, my Auntie Doris taught me palm reading many moons ago. I will hopefully catch another if she goes live again. Awesome. You two have so much in common with the energy work. Eric Lapointe says, I have an idea to get a high five from Mocha. Act like you hurt your back and ask for a hand. And right before she grabs your hand, you'll high five and snap it. I'm going to try that tomorrow. Unless she's dropping in now, and she'll catch on right away. And she'll leave me all cringed over like I'm in pain. And of course, I'm going to do it. And if it works, I'm going to say, yes, I got that from Eric Lapointe. So that way, even though I appreciate your suggestion, I have no problems throwing you under the bus. Throwing you under the bus to Mocha. That would make a great live stream. Mocha finally high-fiving me after 23 years. And trust me, I have tried. I have finished a 100-mile race. My first one, up a hill. Big steep hill, just a small mountain. It was in outside of Harpers Ferry, West Virginia, so you know it's mountainous. And horrible weather. It had snowed, we had ice, we had rain. I get up the hill, they hand me my buckle, I go right up to Mocha, and I put my hand up, high five. If anything deserves a high five. A week after my 50th birthday, and I just finished my first 100 after 3 failures. And she was like, nope, I don't high five. She hugged me. She gave me a ride home. She took me out for pancakes, but she would not high five me. Runner Boy says, yes, 15, but I changed it to 10 and finished with it now. Jacob says, I agree, brother. Salute to you, Runner Boy. Squirrel Snipper says, I think it was Plato who said they think that the war is over. Only the dead have seen the end of war. I wonder if Plato did say that, because what strikes me is how long ago that was and how little has actually changed, sadly, that we still think in this time that war is the solution to any issue. Now, I'm not talking about defending ourselves, of course. As a yogi, the very first ethical foundation of yoga is ahimsa, which is non-harm. And my diet reflects that, my lifestyle reflects that, how I approach people, how I do my live stream reflects that. But that doesn't mean that I'm a pacifist. It doesn't mean that I allow people to take advantage of me, that I wouldn't defend myself or defend my loved ones. Sometimes the best way to be kind is to step up and be strong, and to step up and defend others. As much as you don't want to hurt someone, you got to look at things as the greater good, the best way that you're going to be able to serve your loved ones and serve yourself. Because if you're injured or if you're dead, you're certainly not going to be of service any longer for people. Eric Point says, that's good with me, under the bus, but I almost want to give you a high five also. I could see that. I could see that. I'm gonna hopefully she'll stop in the live tomorrow after my attempt. Eric LaPointe says, wow, that's good stuff, Squirrel Sniper. It is. Noble says, he missed my workout today, 6.3 miles, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 bodyweight squats. That's awesome. I did have you up. I didn't get a chance to comment, but I kept you up and running. As a matter of fact, hold on, guys. Oops. I hope you guys could see that. That was an epic shot of Noble Savage. Let's see. I'm trying to get back to my normal screen. There we go. I messed everything up. That's an epic shot. That could be a thumbnail. You got Noble in complete savage mode right there. Striking a bag like it's going to strike him back if he doesn't hit it first. If that bag could talk, that bag would no longer be able to talk after the beating that Noble gave it. Eric LaPointe says, Noble was a beast today. I was there. Awesome. Noble says, thank you, Eric. I'm glad Eric was there representing. That's good work, Noble. This is the kind of shape you have to be in to do a 12-hour live stream. Noble says, I'm doing 6.3 miles, 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, 100 bodyweight squats for 365 days. One down. I've considered doing that workout at one time or another. It would be pretty awesome. Again, Noble's truly going to be a savage. I'm taking my pill early because I'm remembering it early, actually. What was the hardest part, Noble? For anyone here who's not subscribed to Noble Scrolling Traveler, highly recommend it. As I mentioned at the start of my live stream, I gave you a shout out, Noble. Right now we have two of the best live streamers on YouTube. Well, Noble has finished his, but I believe Masha is still up, doing their thing, and both are it's well worth the time spent with them. Noble says the hardest part was reading comments while jogging in the treadmill. Yep, I can see that. Definitely. Hey, Eric, any update on being able to go live? Eric has 2 new shorts up too, by the way. So definitely go check them out. 57 subscribers, Eric. 57 well-deserved. Few things have made me happier than seeing you putting up content. Let's see. Eric says, not yet, but I think I am post videos. Not, we'll see. I keep hearing different stories of the actual policy. That there's a difference between 50 subscribers if you use a desktop versus 50 or needing 500 if you do it mobile. I don't know why it would make a difference. So I had heard that Masha was having some StreamYard issues, but it seems like, I'm looking at her right now, seems like she's got it worked out. So that's great. As mentioned before, if anyone's here who is not connected with Mayhem and Miracles, if you are looking, if you're sincere in growing your channel, and by sincere I mean that you have an objective, that you want to grow it for a specific reason, whatever that might be. You're willing to put in the work, and by work I specifically mean helping other people grow their channels. The way that I found to be successful, I'm using some air quotes with that, maybe I should say more successful, the more I gave, the more came back to me. Eric says, I'll start with a video first. I guess whatever works. So we're going to get a burpee video. Noble says it's called the One Punch Workout. The One Punch Man Workout. Yeah, it was really popular a couple years ago. Eric Point says yes. That's awesome. It's a tough workout, Noble, no matter what kind of shape you're to begin with. I know some hardcore burpee people that might be hard pressed to get that in. I also see that, Noble, you're 6.33K subscribers. That's completely awesome. Oh, anyway, I was talking about Masha, Mayhem and Miracles. Noble says, always good to see you, brother. Always good to see you. Love, brother. Love you as well, my friend. Appreciate you stopping by. Are you done? If you're still here, are you done live for the day, or are you going to pop back up again? So if you go to Mayhem and Miracles, and I see our friend Joe at Masha's, and I see her participating, and I see her making connections, and that is the way. That's the way to do it. That's how you grow your channel. Let's see. I need to make a stop on Joe's channel sometime soon. I saw that she it definitely grew her channel pretty quickly just by doing that, just by participating and helping other people. So I'm going to throw this out there to anyone who wouldn't mind hitting the like button. I did not always remember to say that. Sorry, I'm scrolling up through. I got Masha up and running. again, even if I can't fully participate in the conversation, uh, when someone channel that I support is um, live streaming, I'd like to have it up. Neville says, it only took me 2.5 hours. Hey, that's still pretty good. That run is no joke. Super slow, but we'll get better. Hey, talk to It Is What It Is, our friend Lewis, about speed. Speed doesn't matter. The reps matter. Getting the work done matters. Speed, some days you might go fast, some days you might go slow, but the reps are the reps no matter what. Eric Point says, hey, Noble, always say positive things about yourself while working, never negative. It will subconsciously put you down, whether you know it or not. Positive vibes. Excellent advice from Eric Point. That self-dialogue, we don't realize the damage that it does continuously, because we don't just do it on occasion. We have soundtracks for everything we do in life. I can't do this. I was never able to do this. I feel so stupid when I try this. All kinds of soundtracks. And what it produces in yogic psychology is called samskaras. Samskaras are mental imprints, patterns. It's like the older, I know Eric Lapointe and I know Noble will get this right off, LPs, albums. If you put the I can't even remember what they're called. If you put the needle on the whatever track, if you put it on Zeppelin 4, you're always going to hear Zeppelin 4. You're never going to hear it on anything else. No other album. Because that's the pattern that's ingrained. When we spend a lifetime in that kind of dialogue, we have those mental imprints. And every time we're faced in a situation, we have an imprint, a mental, emotional imprint that it falls on. The entirety of yoga is meant to help erase those imprints so that we are, so that they soften, so that we go from being reactionary beings to responsive beings. And I mention quite often, I don't think I have for a while though, how much I love the word responsibility, our ability to respond. And it's a lost art. We're reactionary people. Think about the last person that cut you off in traffic. Did you respond or did you react almost instantly? The last person that you felt slighted you or called you a name or whatever. We have a friend who visits every so often, and you can literally see the samskaras at work. It's the, are you talking to me? Was that comment directed at me? Is this about me? Why are you talking about me? Did you see what this person said about me? Not his fault. Those are his samskaras reacting. The only way you change that is bringing the light of awareness, the lens of awareness to those mental patterns, and everything begins to change on their own. You don't have to make the effort of stop thinking this way. You just become aware that I'm thinking this way, and everything begins to change. Eric Point says, I used to do this thinking. It was making me stronger, but it wasn't. Just put a positive spin on the negative thing you're thinking. Exactly. So after we become aware that that's happening, and what a huge insight and awakening that Eric just described. He used to think this way, and he became aware that he thought that way. And he also became aware that it wasn't serving the purpose. It wasn't helping him. It was actually making it worse. And he changed it. He responded. Everything changes through awareness. Not only that, when we spend that time being aware that we are aware, we are in touch with our truest selves. We're actually in touch with the self with a capital S, the larger self. Eric says, well said, Yogi. Thank you for that. Noble says, thank you, Eric. For some reason, negativity works for me sometimes. I always look at myself before a workout and tell myself, you're weak and need to complete this whole workout. It motivates me. What I like to think, the difference between motivation and inspiration. When you rely on motivating forces, which is you're weak, you can't do this, you always need that supply. Otherwise, you become weak. But when you rely on inspiration, in spirit, you coast on a breeze of self-love and self-worth. Everything is better. It's important to ask, who's saying it? Whose voice is it that's saying that? Wolf says, if you put yourself down, no one will disagree. But if you build yourself up, someone will. That was awesome. Awesomely said, Wolf. It's what I love about these conversations, when people keep dropping those pearls of insights and wisdom. So through the whole entirety practice of yoga, from the foundation to the pranayama, breathwork, especially pranayama, breathwork, as mentioned before, if people feel they don't have time to meditate, then do breathwork 3 times a day or therapeutically as needed. It takes about 3 minutes each session. And it literally slows the brain down, so you start to be able to witness your thoughts and you're able to become responsive. Jacob says, believe in yourself, and I believe in you. We can do this together. I had to start from the bottom too, brother. Noble Scrolling Traveler, salute, brother. Jacob, are you subscribed to Noble? I think you'd enjoy his channel very much. And Noble, as I mentioned before, Jacob is someone who is putting in the reps, and every one of his workouts, he starts with positive vibes. Noble says, I never say can't do this. I make myself aware that I am not perfect and always have room for improvement. Awesome. That's how you do it. Noble says, I know I can do it. I just tell myself that I need to do it instead of want to do it. One of the things, and I talked about this with Joe Delaney, was discovering our whys. Why am I doing this? Why do I want this? And the deeper you dig, the more important those whys get. What if your why is because I want to have kids? I want to get married. I want to have kids. And I want to see my kids grow up. I want to be healthy and be able to play with my kids. I don't want to have any physical limitations that are going to prevent me from being present to my family. Or what if the why is I want to run a marathon, or I want to look better? It doesn't matter what that why is, but have it big enough that it pulls you forward. Noble says, makes the workout, I feel like I need to complete it. One thing I discovered in my very first completed 100-mile race is that there's a point at that distance when things are so miserable, willpower just won't work any longer. And as soon as you give up, and I mean truly give up, not making excuses, not saying I can't do this because of this or my foot hurts, I have blisters, I'm simply too tired, I hurt all over. All of those aren't excuses, because honestly, they start happening at mile 60. If you make it to mile 80 and you still have those issues, it's not going to get any worse. Um, However, when you, let's not say give up, surrender. When you surrender, all of a sudden you realize there's a greater force at play, and you're carried what I can only call grace. You're carried by grace. At mile 60, during that 100-mile race, I literally surrendered because it was freezing rain. My buddy that I had trained with and we were running a bit together said, I think we should quit DNF when we get to the next aid station. It was a turnaround point. And that's what he was going to do. He thought we were both hypothermic, or the beginning stages of hypothermic, and that's probably true. And all of a sudden, as miserable as I felt, I looked around and the rain was crystallizing in the ice, and it just seemed so beautiful. And my pain was still there. It just didn't matter though. And my friend said, so are you going to drop? And I was just smiling. I said, now I'm curious to see what's going to happen. Curiosity is awesome. Curiosity and enthusiasm will take you as far as you need to go in life. Noble, if you tell yourself every day, even when you're hurting, I'm curious if I can do this today. I don't know if I can, and it doesn't even matter if I don't, but I'm curious to see, can I do this? Eric says, I get it, Noble. So for example, instead of saying, I'm fat and need to get in shape, you would say, damn, I'm burning off this fat today. Let's go. Great way to reframe. There's a lot of power in reframing things. Wolf says, Noble, are you the junior or the other one? Eric says, but I get it, brother. Yeah, there's different, motivating modalities for all of us. But Eric has an excellent point. We just need to be very careful what we feed ourselves mentally. A lot of times we don't even consider that. We might go on a diet. Many people do. We might pick up an exercise program. We do all kinds of things, but do we ever examine our thoughts? Not try to so much change them as just examine. Just spend some time thinking about our thoughts. Let's see. Noble says, Eric, exactly, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable is important to me. I was comfortable for too long. That's how I get out of shape. I need to speak, recognize the fat I have, and lose it. Sounds good. Jacob says, thank you for sharing, Eric. Hey, Noble, definitely visit our friend Jacob. There's a lot of motivating presence. I find, when you spend time in channels like Jacob's, it is what it is. Brian Lane, they literally carry you along. Noble says, I love myself fat or skinny. I just need change. I need to speak it to the universe. I agree with that. Amy says, going back to what you were saying a bit earlier, I am responsible for what I say. I am not responsible for what you understand. Do you know the author? I'm responsible for what I say. It sounds Wayne Dyer-ish, but I think I'm mistaken. I don't know who that is, Amy. It reminds me of the title from, I can't remember the author. Um, her last name was Cole Whitaker, Terry Cole Whitaker, who wrote a bestseller in the early 80s. What you think of me is none of my business. And we can have that same phrase return to ourselves. What I think of me is none of my business, because it's just a thought. It's not reality. Thoughts are a perception of reality. Repeated thoughts can give us a very solid perception of reality. But when we change our thoughts, we change the perception of reality itself. Thank you for sharing that, Amy. Very powerful. Noble says, the more I try to hide my fat and ignore it, then nothing will change. I agree with that. And we have a tendency to do so. You know, back to yogic psychology, one of the 5 kleshas, which are the veils that block us from knowing our true self and knowing reality, the greatest one of all is ignorance. They list the 4: our attachments, our aversions, our fear of death, our belief that we are a small, limited self, and the 5th is that we are ignorant of all of that. And nothing changes out of ignorance. Amy gets a thumbs up from Eric. Olga is here. Olga, I was just in your channel today, seeing if you had any new art up. Olga says hello. Hello, my friend. I'm glad you stopped by. That also, Amy, reminds me of what I've been talking about quite a bit from the 4 Agreements. Don Miguel Ruiz. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. And I just keep always mentioning, man, how much easily would we cruise through life if we didn't take anything personally? Amy says the quit itself is powerful. We cannot control what others perceive. Absolutely true. We can't even control what we perceive until that we are aware that we're the perceiver. Until we're aware that our thoughts have shaped that perception. And then we can look at those thoughts and think, wow, I can change that. I can literally change my world by beginning just by being aware of our thoughts. Let me go back to the beginning of the Dharmapada. Dhammapada is Buddhist text, original sayings from the Buddha. It's considered probably the most important, maybe along with the Heart Sutra, of all Buddhist scripture. And it begins, twin verses. Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Suffering follows an evil thought as the wheels of a cart follow the oxen that draw it. Our life is shaped by our mind. We become what we think. Joy follows a pure thought, like a shadow that never leaves. He was angry with me. He attacked me. He defeated me. He robbed me. Those who dwell on such thoughts will never be free from hatred. He was angry with me. He attacked me. He defeated me. He robbed me. Those who do not dwell on such thoughts will surely become free from hatred. One more, and I'll finish it off. For hatred can never put an end to hatred. Love alone can. This is an unalterable law. People forget that their lives will end soon. For those who remember, quarrels come to an end. Very powerful. Oh, I fell behind. Don't even have that many in the chat, and I already fell behind. Noble says, thank you, Eric. I definitely doubted myself on completing it today. I told the stream that I would do it, and that was my motivation. I can't give up in front of all the viewers. Lots of benefits to live streaming, especially live streaming those workouts. You guys want inspiration? Go check out It Is What It Is when he does his Holy Grail, 1,000 reps, 1,000 burpees in one setting. Algo says, no, right now I'm out of supplies. I'm going to stock up soon. Awesome. Miss seeing new things out there. Noble says, hello, Halgo. Good seeing you today, brother. Thank you and Eric. Thank you, Eric and Halgo, for the motivational words during my workout. I'm glad you had them there. Jacob says, I subscribe to you, Noble. You deserve it, brother. Keep up doing what you're doing. You will accomplish it. Hey, make sure that you leave a comment on a video and Noble can follow you back. Noble, you'll definitely get some inspiration from our friend Jacob. Olga says, I'm going to try to go to a lot more streams again. I've just been really busy since I'm working again. I'm glad to hear you're working again. And Amy says, love, kindness, and compassion. That right there can change the vibes of any conversation. I honestly believe every live stream needs an Amy McFarlane dropping love, kindness, and compassion bombs throughout the live stream. You just can't go wrong by putting that out there. Someone comes across it and it just changes. Do you really want to follow up? Do you really want to follow that comment up with something that is just less than positive, less than kind, less than compassionate, less than loving? Noble says, I just subscribed to Jacob. I just checked out your 200 burpee, 2 jumping jacks. Jacob's an animal. Jacob says he tries to put in the work. No one does it better. There are many who do it as well, but no one does it better. Noble says, for sure, Jacob, you are killing it. 200 burpee jumping jacks. That's a tough one. All of them, all of his workouts are. So I am still looking for our friend Jill. Looking for her channel. Jacob says, thank you, brother. That means a lot to me. Man, well-deserved praise all around, Jacob. Jacob says, Noble, you inspired me too. Thank you for the love, brother. That's what it's all about. Amy sums it up in 3 words. what I love about Amy dropping that is anytime the conversation might head in a different direction, unfortunately it does. One of the things that I've realized, it does through no fault of anyone at all. It just does. Someone might come in here for whatever reason and things don't click. But we can always point back. We can always refer to that. And we just say, hey, this is what the conversation is going to be about. Which I'm often asked. Sometimes people will come in and say, so what's this live stream about? And I never have a real answer. I don't know what it's about because it's going to be different every time. But we can't go wrong by saying it's about love, kindness, and compassion. Because what doesn't fit? What have we talked about tonight that doesn't in some way fit in those categories? What I'd love to see right now, our friend Noble is actually demonstrating love, kindness, and compassion to himself. And we talked about this before, and I talked about it with Amy. How often you meet some very caring, loving, kind, compassionate people who, for whatever reason, are unable to turn that towards themselves. They just don't have it. It was, for whatever reason, somehow beaten out of them. I don't mean physically beaten, just emotionally beaten out of them. So we just start again. We start a loving kindness practice, extending it to ourselves. And I've described before how to do metta meditation, which is the Buddhist loving kindness meditation, where you begin using a slogan, and it could be something along the lines of, may I be happy, may I be peaceful, may I be free from suffering and the cause from suffering. And you begin with yourself, because it's the hardest. And then you work your way outwards. Malcolm McCarty is here, saying hi. Olga says, Mark, I'm going to work. I'm going to work for at least 2 more hours, so I'm to get it. Hey, Olga, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. I'm going to be on the lookout for some new sculpts coming up. Amy says, we can be loving, kind, and compassionate in any conversation, regardless of the different differences of point of views. Exactly. And you know what? I'm really fortunate because everyone who's here right now has demonstrated that in these conversations at one time or another. Eric Point says, oh boy, Mocha's here. Stop talking about her, Yogi. Mocha's always willing to listen to me and whatever I have to say with good humor and constant eye rolls. Over and over again. Although we do need to stop talking about our secret plan. Mocha says hello to Eric Lapointe and Amy. Eric Lapointe has 2 snake videos up and running now. I am still on the lookout for my first snake. Mocha has her first snake on a video, and I might share that sometime too, with her permission, of course. I also haven't seen a fawn yet, although my stepdaughter has, and a wonderful video of that, which I will share out with her permission. And speaking of videos, our friend Squirrel Sniper has a short of the beginning of his chainsaw carving. This is what I said, what really fascinates me is the 2 skill sets that Amy and Squirrel Sniper bring. One seems to be more of a delicate working, and the other is almost like a blunt instrument, and yet both accomplish works of art. Both accomplish great beauty. Absolutely amazing. I appreciate art in every aspect that it's presented. Wolf says, Mocha, Yoga told us a little about your service. Thank you for that. Hey, Wolf, thank you for that. Thank you for bringing that up and offering that to Mocha. Whoa, that's a bombshell. Noble says, I have a lot of time to better myself now. I'm single as of today. I'm sorry to hear that, Noble. Anything you need, if you need someone to talk to, just let me know. Mocha says, it was an honor for me to be able to serve. Thank you. And she did so honorably, as I mentioned. There was no complaints. There was no, I don't want to do this, I can't do this, whatever. There was just simply, I have my job to do. Mocha says, sorry, Sir Noble, I am too. Amy says, I had to remove many from my world in order to go on my journey of personal and spiritual growth. And it's never easy, even though we know we might have to do it. I was extremely fortunate that early on when I dedicated myself to literally a life of meditation and yoga, that people just seemed to naturally fall from my life, and the right people just seemed to spontaneously show up. Mocha spontaneously showed up. She was a customer. Noble says, her loss, my muscle gain. We can definitely use that stuff for growth. All of it. Noble says, thank you for the love. Though, we all need it. It's a way we get through anything. One, we love ourselves through everything. Two, we accept the love from others through everything. If I knew how to do it, Noble, I've tried. I'd offer you and I do a live stream together. We can do it on your channel, and that way the watch hours go to you, and we just talk our way through it all. Not looking for any solutions, just talking and sharing. Amy says, exactly, Eric. People fell away. Some I had to walk away from, and others I had to remove. It was a process, though, one that is not always easy. No, you're right. It isn't always easy. Sometimes, even when we know it's time to let something go, for whatever reason we cling. I have never fully, truly regretted letting go of anything, but I have almost consistently regretted anything that I've attempted to cling to past its time. How do you know it's time? I don't know. Probably different for everyone. 。 . 。 . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . Some things I've held on to, not in a sense of clinging, but in a sense of an embrace that I just know, for whatever reason, this is what I hold to. Noble says, I just feel lost because I was used to someone being there for 4 years. Just got to get back to being used to waking up alone. And it definitely takes getting some used to. Medic says, watch hours, laughing out loud. Says he's given up YouTube. I finally ground me down. Medic, you just put out such beautiful stuff, though. It would honestly be my loss if you stopped. And I can honestly say, I think YouTube as a whole would be less if we lost your presence. You're putting beautiful stuff out there. I was mentioning you with Barb and how, the effect of nature can be transferred even through watching a video. And the best place to do it, you go to UK Medic. You put on, you can't be unhappy and watch an otter video. Noble, you want to help mend a broken heart? UK Medic and watch some otters. I defy anyone, at least for the 3-minute video. I defy anyone to be unhappy when you're watching otters. Amy says, I had no regrets, Eric, but I did grieve some of the losses. And what a big statement that is, Amy. It's a huge statement. The difference between regrets and grieving. I'd love hearing that. Medic says he loved the live the other night. Eric says, Noble, you got this, brother? You're heading in that direction, Noble. You're healing yourself. I'd recommend, along with the physical pursuit, meditation and some breath work. And I'm happy to offer assistance for both. Medic says it was a great stream, and whoop, saying hi to everyone. Or Medic and Amy. Eric LaPointe says, to Medic, let's hear a joke. Medic says, but YouTubes are assholes. They can take away like lightning, but when it comes to giving, it's no like. I agree. We were talking about that with Barb and some others this afternoon about the YouTube bullying policy and how slow they are to respond. We'll take it under review. Someone is feeling unsafe, threatened, and violated, and the policy they're supposed to have is 0 tolerance for bullying, and what it is, we'll look into it. And then they might say, it doesn't seem like it's that bad from our end. Our friend Duncan Walsh is here. I was talking about Duncan earlier. Speaking of motivation, it's in the name. It's in the title. Duncan Walsh Fitness Motivation. Hey, Jacob, are you still here? I don't know if you're connected with Duncan, but you definitely need to be. And Noble, I don't know if you're connected with Duncan, but if you're looking to make any positive changes physically, Duncan is the man to go to. Before I met Duncan, I was 6'3", 195 pounds. I had a full head of hair. I didn't wear glasses. And look at me now. I owe all of this right now to Duncan Walsh Fitness Motivation. Amy says, Medic, I am doing what I love. I don't care about anything else. Amy is dropping some big wisdom straight from the Bhagavad Gita. Do what you love, surrender the results. You're not entitled to the results. Krishna says that to Arjuna. You are entitled to your actions, not the fruits of your actions. Doesn't mean you don't want good things or have expectations of good things or even expect good things, but it means that you don't know what's going to happen, so you simply surrender it. You leave it to the work of God. You put your reps in, you put your practice in, you put your artwork in, you do the time, and everything else is completely out of our control. I can't help when I watch a UK Medic video thinking that this person is on purpose. This is what they're meant to be doing. It's uplifting. It is disheartening to hear that the hours aren't going up, because I've been putting in some time for on Medic's channel. Time well spent. Eric Point says, what's up, Duncan? Great tips in that video. Yep, Duncan always has great tips. Duncan says, yeah, but you are so much smarter for it. I agree. Speaking of regrets and no regrets, and we were with Amy, after doing a Duncan Walsh inspired workout, afterwards, I have no regrets. I can't say that about the first minute when I'm doing something. The first minute, man, I have all kinds of regrets. But when I'm done, I know I'm better for having done it. Wolf says, Medic, they actually don't, but they sure take their time doing anything about it. Medic says, my watch hours are going backwards. I wonder, it's a secular thing, right? So you lose whatever watch hours you had on that day. So you got to, just like, I'm not sure how to describe it, a balance. And you got to tip the balance in the favor of positivity in those numbers. That's what I'm worried about in July. July is when I started doing live streams, and that's when my watch hours started going up. So I know I'll start losing some watch hours in July unless I can cover the ground of where I am now, which is I'm at 3,235. So I'm what? 765 away, not counting 5 days that are not yet counted. So I definitely want to do it before July. My plan, my hopes, my aspiration is by the first day of summer. And so it begins. Duncan Walsh says, Eric, have you considered? That's going to see what kind of pain is going to be offered. Although his last suggestion was wasn't as painful. It was a simple, just doing 100 reps and leaving it at that. Amy says, I'm seeing that too. That is why if you watch for helping me with hours, do it more naturally, a little each day, and leave comments, etc. it is more natural to YouTube. That makes sense. So Amy, I'm going to add you to my list for watch hours. So I will be going through your lives. I like doing the lives because it offers the most bang for the bucks. Medic says being a YouTube creator is like working in an Asian sweatshop. I think especially for you, because you put so much care into everything you do. Every single video is a work of art. Wolf says, I heard that comments are more important than watch hours. I think when you're trying to get monetized, watch hours are gold because you're not going to get it. You're not going to get monetized without the watch hours. I think comments might be more important for the algorithm. Medic says YouTubes are an animal that is always hungry. And Amy says not counting the ones that drop off each day before lives. Yeah, this is true. This is why I'm in a bit of a hurry to get those hours in. I hate being on a time frame, but I definitely am. Let's see. Duncan says at some point in your intervals to inject a 17 for the one pumps or a 9 for the seals. Not the number with less rest, but that number in the 60 seconds. Your choice which minute, plus the final 2 minutes. I haven't considered that. Man, I'm not sure I think I could get 17 on my one pumps. I don't know if I could get 9 seals in a minute. I'd have to start it when I have a little extra time at the beginning. I'll give that a shot. I did intervals yesterday, and tomorrow is strength, and then I'll be intervals 1 pumps coming up after that. So I think that's going to be Wednesday or Thursday. Medic says, yep, I need just 10 more, but I get 20 and YouTube takes 80. I know one person helping doesn't make a huge difference, but I will, I'll double up on you. I'll see if I can get it on another device as well. It just seems that we should be able to get that. Medic says, I may make all my content private and starve YouTube of money for my content. It's too one-sided. Amy says, if you go to StreamYard and do a panel of specific people in your niche, you will attract many more viewers and hence watch hours. I talked about this, our friend Burpee Yoga Uncle. he's a huge believer in just doing the silent live stream. And I know some people aren't. Some people say they don't, they won't go in. But I wonder if you put it up, a silent live stream, 24 hours, and saying, this is for watch hours, friends. I need to get these 10. Um, if people would come and just spend time. Amy says there are benefits to StreamYard. Let's see. Duncan says, I think if your first minute was the speed test 17, or the second minute, you might surprise yourself, similarly with the 9 seals. I think it would probably be the second. I think I feel best on the second interval. First one always feels a little bit slower, and then I start hitting my stride. So the second or the third, I'd be completely warmed up. I'll definitely give it a shot. Medic says, I always get a good turnout on my lives, and I do 6 to 8 hours, and you still screws me over. Yeah, you definitely put in the work on the live streams. Endurance workouts for sure. Amy says, I'll let my laptop run overnight, Medic. Awesome. Duncan says, Medic, it may help you watch time if you voice over the videos. If the voiceover is interesting and informative, people are likely to watch for longer. I mentioned voiceovers beginning of the conversation, and I mentioned Duncan and Runner Boy as having two of the best voiceovers. Medic says, I usually get 40 to 50 in my chat and usually hold steady at 40. That's awesome. Duncan says, there's another option to instantly get your watch time up. Definitely need to hear that. Medic says, no, Duncan, I don't want to spoil a good video by me talking. Amy says, I know you do, Medic. That is why I'm surprised you haven't hit the mark yet. I wish I had that menu. Yeah, that many. Oh, sorry. Me too. That would be awesome. I think if I had one live stream with that many people, maybe two, that might put me over the edge. Thank you, Erica Point. Very much appreciated, my friend. Medic says, it's YouTube delivery holding me back. I will be doing a shout out video for you, Amy. Awesome. Aaron is here. Aaron needs help. Aaron, you needed help last time you came, my friend. Sorry to hear that. Amy says, thank you, Medic. That means a lot to me. Medic says, hey, I'm a YouTube celebrity. Let's see. And Duncan says, Medic, I'm sure you could get some informative stuff to say, even if you Google some of it. Let's see. Our friend William is here. William, how are you? Hey, Duncan. I think William is a channel that you might appreciate. William's another hard worker, putting his time in, getting the reps in, some big weights. William says, hello, sir. Erin needs some help with her respite. I don't know what that is, my friend. Medic says, so are you saying my content is not interesting? William says, how we doing? I'm doing good, buddy. I'm doing pretty well, too. William, thank you. How's the lifting going? Medic says, a voiceover would ruin the nature videos, and I hate hearing my voice. Understandable. Not understandable about your voice in particular, but understandable. Nature videos, I think the only one who can narrate a nature video is Marlon Perkins from Mutual of Omaha's Wild Kingdom and David Attenborough. Amy says to Aaron that respite is not something that we can do much about. No, it isn't. The most we can do for you, Aaron, is simply be here for you, my friend. Just be a presence. We actually have mentioned that before. Duncan says, just watch a couple now, UK. Like Whitby. There are platforms out there that promote YouTube growth, subscribe, watch time, likes, etc. I have tried one a while ago. Amy wants to know what they mean, what Aaron means. Well, Medic says, yes, I know, Duncan. I got a refund from one because no activity for 3 months. Duncan says the channel at the time was not sanctioned or had problems as a result of the promotion. Interesting. Aaron says, well, my spite was emergency care. This time I've been 11 nights and I have to give up one of my weeks for 4 nights, like Christmas or Halloween, in respite. What can I do? I don't know, my friend. I wish I did. I wish I can help. I mentioned before that I really don't have advice. Situations as you found yourself in on your past few visits are just beyond my ability to help. As I mentioned, all we can do is we provide presence. Duncan says subscribers were a waste of time, not genuine as it did not reflect on views, but watch time did work, and the channel was monetized. Interesting. I definitely want to get that last 765 as quick as possible. Medic says, I'm on vidIQ radar. Rob Wilson keeps sending me achievement certificates. I have visited them a bit as well. Amy says, yes, all I can do is send love, light, healing, and prayers that you find relief from the challenges you are experiencing. And I'm joining Amy and all that she offers you, my friend. So, we're about to close things up for the night. I'm going to go to bed. It's just about that time for me. Duncan says, or I'm sorry, Medic says, example, Duncan, I have now over 5K subscribers, and I know that realistically, I have around 100 real followers. That is very similar to me, except I probably have less than 100 real followers. But I have that 5K, which is fine for now. It'll give me time to build up a bigger base. I'll take that 5K as it gets me monetized. For the first time ever, I hit 102K public short views in a 90-day period, which is big for me. But there's no way I'd get those watch hours or the short views in 90 days, 10 million to get monetized. So it's going to be all about the watch hours. William says, okay, take care, sir. Catch you later. Thank you, William. I appreciate you stopping by. If you guys don't mind hitting the like button, if you haven't, much appreciated. Or if you don't like it. Fortunately, they no longer have the dislike button. Amy says, I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, everyone. Thank you for that, Amy. For me, my day is over. I'll be going to bed. I'll be up at 2:30 to start my day. Medic, I'm up at 2:30. My computer isn't on until about 4 a.m. And when it comes on, I'm going to have you up and running. Medic says, I use short videos as a window to my content, nothing more. Yeah, for me, the shorts have become a really great art form. And it does bring in some views, which is good. But I think the bulk of it is going to be the live streams. Duncan says, did you miss the platform name? I think I did. I didn't see it, Duncan. Medic says, thank you, Eric. I'm happy to, Duncan. You are, I mentioned this before, the channels that I believe in wholeheartedly. Because I know that they present so much to the people who get the privilege to see them, that what you're putting out there is truly, truly healing. Let's see. Hey, Amy. She's got him running up. She's having an all-nighter with Medic. That might be the thing. That might be the thing that puts you over the edge. And then hopefully I can add to that tomorrow. I think we can do it. I think we're there. I think we're knocking on the door. So, I'm going to get the platform name from Duncan, and then I'm going to go to sleep. I do my last bit of breath work. Appreciate everyone joining me tonight. It was a fun conversation. As always, covered a lot of ground. Duncan says, just posted it. Do you see it? I don't see it. Weird. I wonder why it's not showing up. Ah, Amy says he's not a mod, so he cannot post certain things. Okay, that makes sense. Duncan, maybe when next time you get an opportunity to leave a comment on a burpee video, you can leave it there. So yeah, we covered a lot of territory, from creativity and inspiration and motivation. We were able to reach out and offer a small amount of comfort to our friend Noble. Sometimes a small amount of comfort is just enough. Just letting someone know that there are people there who care for you. And at the same time, it's an ongoing process. Duncan says, I'm not fooled that easily. Do you see it now? Ah, I don't see it. But yep, Duncan's a tricky one. I knew Duncan could find a way. And Amy helps out. Well, thank you. I'm going to look in on that. I'm going to check it out tomorrow. Amy says, you're awesome, Duncan Walsh. He certainly is. Let's see. Medics says that was a crappy one I used, and they did nothing to, so I had to give me a refund. Interesting. I'm going to take that under consideration. I'll give him a look at tomorrow and see what's going on. Amy says I am not interested in using stuff like that. Duncan says I will double check if it is the one I used. As I say, subs are no good, but watch time works. And that's the important thing for me right now. Other than that, I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. And as I was mentioning before, surrendering with the results. It's all I can do. And that can help to push you just over the line. That's what I need. Amy says, I gotta go. See you later. Amy, thank you. Medic says, my channel is 100% organic. Awesome. Night all. Medic, thank you. Amy, and thank you. Duncan, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate this suggestion. The next, in a couple of days, my next interval session, I'll be on it. Our friend William and Aaron were both here. Eric Lapointe, thank you very much. Thank you for everything. Very much appreciated. And Noble, things will get better. Holgo, it's been a bit, so I'm really happy you stopped by. Night Watcher was here very briefly. Wolf and Barb, thank you both very much. And we had a good crowd. Malcolm McCarty, as always, thank you for everything you bring to me in my life. And that's quite a bit. And Squirrel Sniper and Runner Boy. Jacob was here. And Laradox was here. I think that's everyone. Just wanted to give that little shout out. Because, honestly, I appreciate everyone for stopping by. You guys have a good night. Take care. Night from the UK. Thanks, guys.